The envoy from the kingdom of Thaslo, William, had shackled a giant dragon and was preparing to bring it back for the king to consume. Lucas, the son of the dragon clan's chief, rushed to the scene as soon as he heard the news. Seeing a female dragon kneeling on the ground, desperately begging William not to take her husband away, he decided to rebel once more against the century-old treaty that required the dragon clan to offer one of their giant dragons as tribute to the kingdom of Thaslo every 100 years. However, William was a powerful wizard. Since Lucas hadn't brought his innate sacred weapon, William easily trapped him with a simple spell. As the envoy of Thaslo, William also had another mission: to crush any form of resistance from the dragon clan. So, he planned to take Lucas away this time. Fortunately, Tristan, the chief of the dragon clan, used magical communication to plead with William to spare his son, and Lucas narrowly escaped this ordeal. Watching William leave arrogantly, Lucas refused to accept defeat and silently vowed to strengthen his magical training. The scene of his clansmen being taken away right before his eyes fueled him with immense motivation, yet Lucas knew that he alone couldn't overturn the treaty with the kingdom of Thaslo. So, he began training his remaining clansmen and some allied sea tribes in the dragon clan's waters, striving to defeat the kingdom of Thaslo before the next century-old tribute came due. But news of this soon reached the kingdom of Thaslo. King Eric was furious. He never expected the dragon clan to dare resist again. Without hesitation, he dispatched Carson, along with nearly 100,000 wizards and superpowered warriors, to suppress the rebellion in the dragon clan's waters. At Carson's command, the army surged into the dragon clan's territory. Instead of backing down, Lucas led his remaining dragons and allied sea tribes straight toward the enemies hovering in the sky. The two sides collided head-on, one from above and one from below, instantly engaging in a fierce and desperate battle in the air. Although their numbers were roughly equal, the difference in combat power was staggering. Often, a single superpowered warrior from Thaslo could take down several opponents. Even the giant dragons of the dragon clan stood little chance. One of them was cut in half by Carson in just one move. By this point, the dragon clan's waters had turned into a massive graveyard. Seeing the heavy casualties among his people, Lucas was furious. He declared passionately that even if the dragon clan had to stain the seas with their blood that day, they would make the kingdom of Thaslo understand that dignity is earned through struggle. But Carson was only following orders and showed no interest in their plight. He raised his long halberd and thrust it toward Lucas. The two immediately clashed in a fierce duel. Lucas had thought that equipping the dragon scale armor and wielding the dragon's roar spear would turn the tide, but he had underestimated Carson's power. In just 3 moves, Lucas was struck down from the clouds. Realizing he couldn't defeat Carson in human form, Lucas transformed into his true giant dragon form. He opened his massive jaws, intent on swallowing Carson whole. But in a critical moment, Carson seized one of his horns. Lucas struggled desperately but couldn't break free. Carson slammed him violently to the ground, then swung the dragon around by the horn. Lucas refused to yield and prepared to keep fighting. Yet Carson warned him, almost kindly, that continuing would mean the total annihilation of his people. Unwilling to see his clansmen suffer further, Lucas chose to lay down his arms. He alone took responsibility for the rebellion and was imprisoned by the kingdom of Thaslo in an abyss, condemned never to leave. Just as Lucas expected to live out his days in despair, a figure appeared, a man in a black robe who called himself Adrian. He claimed he had a way for Lucas to grow stronger, even enough to overturn the treaty with Thaslo, but it would require a terrible price.